Okay, start with d4. We do get d5 to start off, so that's nice. We'll go right into the Queen's Gambit, as anyone could expect. Take the center, also uncover an attack here. And ladies and gentlemen, it took a 1300 or a 1294, but I think for the first time we see this move. Doesn't mean that it's absolutely the best move, but this is kind of the way that I've been playing with black. And I said, you know, knight here, there's actually a really good move available for black, which is pawn here. So actually, we're going to be playing e5. Okay, knight takes here. Let's grab this pawn. c6. Looks pretty standard. Usually this move I don't really care for because I don't like to allow him a really easy bishop g4. So when I'm playing against this knight like this, you'll often see me play more unusual knight e2. Okay, bishop here. Let's just get castles. Has to be quite useful. We see this. Probably get this knight out now. I just think knight here, bishop g4 takes e6 is so, like, you know, just rock solid. So I like to play against that where I can. Hit this. We'll definitely see the bishop just take a step back. I think I might just play bishop d2. Knight here, we can go back. All right, and it's a classic fight here. a3 is kind of a useful move. We can maybe go ahead and slot that in right now. Just nice square to take control of. And I think it's gonna be pieces to the middle time. How is this username not already taken? So you ever seen those big, like, high-rise, you know, the high-rise condos and stuff that they put up, and then there's that one, like, old guy who just won't sell his place? It was a situation like that. Bring the knight to the middle. Definitely looking to activate rooks here. Oh, this is a bit of a sad end for our guy. He played, for sure, in the entire speedrun, the best game so far, just in terms of, like, he actually played an opening, and he actually had a theoretical position after 10 moves. Like, nothing to be laughed at. I think I'm gonna overprotect this. We're developed now. Probably just for simplification, I would say this makes sense, but I'm gonna go ahead and start with this. It's also queen g4, knight f6 ideas. Knight f6 first. Takes, and trying to bring the queen here. All right, let's throw that knight in. Offer him some trades, like maybe rook d1. It's a good start. Okay, well, I think I'll just solidify that. Just make sure everything's defended. Probably bring this other knight into e4, although that one is particularly tempting. I'm gonna make this trade as well. Bring the other knight in. I think f5 looks pretty good. I like knight f5 a lot here. Bishop, queen, knight, all aimed at something similar. Maybe f5. So we can even play f6 if he goes there, so just got to be a little careful. It's going to be a checkmate, sir. But I've been spending the entire game commending him. It was the first time we saw signs of life from anyone with a chess.com account in this speedrun. Now, it's not to say that this is the absolute best move in the position. There's a lot of moves you can play against this that are completely fine. But even when our opponents maybe played a move that is fine, they don't follow it up correctly. So even here, he could have played knight f6 and then like knight g4. And of course it would have been terrible. But he followed it up correctly, so it actually was like just a an actual good game for once. Now, knight f3, it's playable, but I relate this very much to like a Caro-Kann when your opponent gets to play this and just trade it off. And you know what? It's a good position here, but I'd rather have this same position with his bishop and my knight on the board. There's just a little bit more to play for. So I do like the move knight e2. And the goal really, I mean, bishop d2 is it's a slow move, but we're just getting our feet off the ground here. The goal is to put the knight on e4. The goal is also maybe to play f4, f5. It's a very aggressive approach. Not my personal favorite, but it's certainly one. f4, f5. Just try to crack the position before things get started. So believe me, this is absolutely a way to play as well. But I think the whole point here is you're just trying to be controlling e4, controlling b4. Taking here only would serve to support the center. And obviously this was a massive blunder, but the moves that are happening next are probably rook d1, rook c1. If I can, h4, h5. Very, very good idea. And something near the king, maybe knight on d6. But I would say queen g4, h4, h5 looks like a nice plan. But you see how solid it is for black, right? It really is a solid position. So for us, we have to kind of think about moves like knight e4, like queen e2, rook c1, rook d1, rook e1, maybe queen g4, h4, h5. I think played it well. Nothing more to say. It was a good game. And c6, bishop out makes a lot of sense. There's other ways that we can play here. I definitely believe that knight e2 is the one. I guess we could follow up with knight g3 right away. So I'm looking now, see what the engine likes. Because I love this knight e2 move instead of knight f3, so that'll be my first piece of advice. Bishop f5, knight g3. I guess you could probably, it kind of treats itself like a Caro-Kann. Now, I don't know about e6 right away. Maybe you could do the standard Caro-Kann stuff where you go like this. And now e6. I kind of like that because that's disgusting. I got no words for that. And then takes. I feel like it has the same success elements to it as the Caro-Kann when you get to play e5. Now, it's not to say that this is guaranteed. I think bishop e6 could happen. But then, we're just kind of playing, well, got to be careful about knight c3. It's the one blunder. But yeah, we're just kind of playing our same game here. Bishop b3. I like it. Knight g3 first. And most importantly, bishop g4. It's less that there's that pin there, but more that I don't want my queen to be on f3. When it gets taken, I take it back. My queen's kind of in front of the f-pawn. What I mean is, yeah, this is a fine move, but like I don't mind castling here. I'm not offended by this. If he played something like e6 now, it would be a little bit better that my queen is back on e2 compared to f3. Just more mobile, right? The f-pawn can immediately move. We don't like to trade this knight too much. So usually you'll see, instead of taking one of these knights, going to e4 instead. Controls a lot of useful squares. And we'll just kind of work around this. And yeah, when this happens, that's fine. We still have access to the same squares. But yeah, like I said, he had the best game that I've seen in the series. Important that we do not play this, okay? I've been playing this with black. Do not play this move. It is the most natural move in the entire position. Do not play it. It sucks. Now, your opponents might not play a good move here, so maybe it'll be good. But I'm telling you, if they play e5, you're cooked already. This is not what you want. This is not what you want at all. And if they know what they're doing, they'll play this. That's not what you want at all. So we've been playing this with black with a ton of success. Don't let it happen to you. Okay, start with d4. And we get g6, which means I'll definitely stick with, you know, the same type of moves. But we're obviously not playing a Queen's Gambit here. I've said a few times against this, immediately I do not like to play knight c3 because of c5. I don't like that. So we play e4 first. And now knight c3. Difference is that if this happens now, we have our pawn on e4. And previously there's a variation where they take and they play pawn to f5. And we kind of never get a good chance to play pawn e4, which I don't care for. So we're going to play this instead. Bishop d3, knight e2, let's castle. Probably going to play h3 as well. Anytime that one of these move happens, we're just going to play d5. Now, rook e8 seems normal, but I would probably classify it as, I would maybe just call that a mistake. You need the rook on f8 to support f5 normally. So rook e8, I think it's just bad. Not going to let him have our bishop here. We can play b4, kicks the knight back, but I might just leave it there for now. Let's see. Let's have a look-see. b4 knight here will win material, so he does actually have to go to a6. That feels pretty nice. Forcing the knight to the side there. I mean, he may just move it back, and then I think that should be pretty significant. So yeah, he's going to make what I think is probably the better move. a3 would also be good, but I feel like there's some use to getting the rook off that diagonal here as well. I'm going to play bishop e3. Okay, yeah, he takes here. Normally I would take this way, but the way that he's played this, f5 doesn't really look like it's happening. So let's do this. b6. Can't say that that move looks great. I think I want to activate this bishop this way. Okay, let's put the bishop in here. I feel like taking, you know, even though we might give up a square here or something, protected pass pawn is just too valuable. And we don't even have to do it. I could play queen a4 here. The knight has to go somewhere it doesn't want to go. But, you know, he has a6 there. So let's just keep it simple and play this. Okay, I really thought he should have gone there. Let's try to prevent him from playing d5. It's a good move. We'll reinforce. I'm just trying to play it like all on the light squares here, which means dark square bishop, very disposable. Let's go here. Rook d1, maybe rook a1 also to trade with him. And this is a move I'm I'm just hoping that he plays h6 because I want to do this anyway. Yeah, let's challenge the rook. We'll play knight d5, and then we'll bring hopefully the other knight into that square as well. So we'll start with this. And if I can get my other knight into d5, I mean, we're dreaming. Now, takes actually covers the d5 square, so I'm going to start with this knight. I really don't want to... Yeah, I mean, just look at this position, right? Complete dream of a piece. Okay, knight c7 doesn't actually win the material, so I'm thinking it's got to be this, but let's take this first, so that once we take, we can just play c7, c8, and win the game. Let's support the pawn. Queen c7 will win the rook next. Okay. We got checked. It's all over. If he moves the king, he loses. I repeat, if he moves the king, he loses. I repeat, if he moves the king, he loses. GG. Okay, we're against the King's Indian type of setup, fianchetto setup of some sort. I've said a few times, but I really don't care for this. Even if this isn't the most dangerous thing, it's so simple to avoid by just playing e4 first. And personally, I find this a little bit annoying. So I like to just go e4. It'll never happen. Don't have to worry about it. And now this is fine. Like, black's just missing the bishop for minimal compensation. Rook e8 doesn't feel like a mistake, but I think it actually is. There's no rook b1, bishop c6, and b5 should be quite good. And we just had a light square concept. Probably the most important move that we played this game was bishop g5, underrated. It's rare that you just want to give away your dark squared bishop in this opening, but the position has changed so much that clearly there's a light square concept here. And at this point, I mean, this is a stomp. And I haven't even won any material yet. It's equal. It's even. Okay. Wa. Let's go d4. Queen's Gambit. You can expect nothing less from me. 2 pawns in the center. Yes. Okay. We get someone defending the pawn. This is great, right? This is another variation. Well, first of all, as soon as I see this move, pretty much no hesitation, this is the next move. Like, it just has to be. So no matter what you're considering, I would say that this is the way to proceed. Now, from this point, I would say taking, immediately the move b3 comes to mind, because you're just taking back here. If you want to transpose back to a position that we might get against the Slav, knight c3 is going to be perfectly fine. I would say at this point, taking and playing b3 is probably the most decisive, just because it really looks like we're undermining everything here. But if someone plays the Slav against you, there is a variation where they can take and play b5, and you can see how it would maybe transpose. So we will probably get some games in the future where we already have the knight on c3, and then this is the position. But for now, because we don't have to commit it, I think this is probably even better. I mean, knight c3 is fine, but I suspect this is even better. I mean, look, if you're scared about losing the pawn, you're already getting it back with queen a4, so do not stress. I think it's quite possible here that, you know, that we can earn it back with interest. So I will maybe choose to just develop instead. But yeah, like I said, if you're concerned, you've already got that. I feel like now is probably the right time to do this. Get out of the pin. 95 feels like the correct follow-up with a pin there. Also hitting the bishop, which is not the easiest thing to see. And bishop takes, and maybe try to play bishop b5. We got knight b5. A lot of good-looking moves here. Yeah, I think knight takes and bishop b5, because I have a feeling he might play bishop here or knight here. Yeah, and he does play bishop there, and this is sort of the tactic that I'm referring to, where we just play bishop b5 at the end. So he's just gonna resign, and I mean that's probably what I expect from a 1200, playing not just the accepted. I mean, this already, a lot of people get into a lot of trouble. But b5, this is a move that, unless you really know what you're doing, you cannot play like this. This is why people are scared of gambits. You accept the gambit, and then like you spend your entire game just trying to keep this pawn. It's like, this guy forgot how to play chess in this game. He wasn't playing properly. He's like developing his queen, like bishop, like he's got no pieces. You're supposed to develop your knights before bishops. This guy's developing his queenside bishop. He's ages away from castling. So takes and b3 definitely looks good. I mean, knight c3 is the other one, because look, if the guy plays a Slav against you and we play this is what we would play, and they could play this, and so we would be right in this position. And if b4, I think I would transfer the knight over here, try to take this pawn back, and that's how this game would go. Hopefully we get this at some point in this series. But yeah, against lower rated players, I tend to have more success just basically just like full open everything, takes b3, like they just aren't usually prepared to defend it. Now there is a variation here that, you know, people play a6. I know it seems like just a huge blunder. If you're playing a 1200, I'm sure it actually will be a blunder, but if you're playing a GM, this is actually a very serious attempt. Engine kind of likes it for white, but the compensation is pretty significant for black, actually. But regardless, it's all about this pawn. We're utilizing the pin, you just can't hang on to it. It's not reasonable. It's not happening. So e4 and just full aggression, a4, knight c3. You'll probably see me play it a bit more properly as we get higher and higher rated with knight c3 instead. But for now, 1200s, they just can't handle moves like this. Like, everything falls apart. All right, d4, c4. What else? And we do jump back into a Queen's Gambit. All right, very rare. I don't even think we've seen this before, because I would remember. There's so many ways to just play here, but I particularly like capturing. And he should capture with the pawn. He hasn't, so it's pretty unusual, but we'll take the full center here. Now, this is a very highly theoretical move. I just feel like if I'm playing a 1300, it's pretty likely that he's not actually doing it. Now, don't play bishop a6. Good. Bishop a6 would lose a piece. That's like the main puzzle rush tactic of all time. We're just castling. We've got a pretty nice center here, supported by the pawn. I think we can only be happy. h6. Probably bring the bishop out here. Also thinking about e5, but no need to do it just yet. Yeah, I think this one really comes to mind here. But I'm wondering if it's working for sure. D5 should just be the move. There's no question about it, but huh. Yeah, this is a move that if I start calculating too much, it'll... Yeah, okay, knight here. Pretty sure we can just play d6 here. I mean, this move also looks good, but d6 to force the bishop back looks great, and I thought that this was just losing. Okay, so here, I think this also wins, but queen takes here looks particularly effective as well. And we actually end up winning more material now. And we just have to deal with knight to g4 at the end. The old one mover. Just get ready with g3. No, okay. Knight here. I mean, we're up a pretty significant amount of material right now. Here, so we can see the threats being created, but we're already one step ahead of them. Bishop f1 and g3. This is the absolutely nothing bad will happen to me. We tuck the bishop. Rook d1 and queen d8 mate looks like a very very likely pattern that we can utilize. So I feel like this rook here, and then like maybe like rook d1 quickly in order to hang the rook. Yeah, and then get queen d8 mate there. Perfect. Just gotta get him to, you know, puppeteer. Gotta get him to dance where we want him. Very nice. Again, we don't see the abs. I would say truly this is what I would call one of the big main lines of the entire opening. We didn't quite see. Didn't quite see it. Now, knight takes c5 is a very common move. Like the top grandmasters play this move, but you really got to know exactly what to do. Like c5, immediately take, immediately check, immediately trade. This is what the top guys do. Very, very theoretical. And fine for black, completely fine. But when a 1300 plays it, they don't really play it exactly right, and I just have a huge center supported by a pawn for absolutely no reason. So white's just much better here. And he's playing h6, he's playing c5, he's not castling. There's a few too many issues with the current position. So that's the problem. He just needs to be castled. Right? He's trying to open the center, and he's not in a position to do so. Right? I've got two rooks coming in. There's pins here, pins here, pins here. Way too many things are about to go wrong. So, I mean, your funeral if you want to do it. I look at this position and immediately something's completely dead wrong here. Bishop b5, bishop f5. There's three pieces lined up on my rook. I've sacked a pawn here and I haven't calculated it fully. I know that it's going to be game over. Bishop b5 takes in knight e5. That's a simple enough calculation that I already know it's going to be winning. But even without knowing exactly, I can just look at this and say, something's got to go wrong. Like, this is not correct. He's got to be castled first. And then, yeah, this is definitely a nice trick to know, but even if we didn't really know this, like even bishop b5 check would force the king to move, or the knight would have to go back. So black's doing way too much without castling. That's really the long and short of it here. All right. Hit him with another d4. We'll go c4, bring the knight out. This is pretty standard. And bishop g4, I mean, considering that one of the setups we've been going for is kind of like this, the move bishop here doesn't... it's not that scary to me because this is how I've been setting things up pretty much every time. So honestly, I'll probably just do this, which looks like a free tempo. Okay, let's go d5. This bishop on h5 is really not supposed to be there. He goes here, so he's already going to be losing a piece here. But yeah, bishop on h5 is just awful because you can't even play g6, bishop g7, or you lose a piece. So but yeah, this opening is definitely not good. If we go here, he's going to save his piece. So obviously in this spot, you start with h4. Maybe he won't know what I'm up to. Let's lock him in. Yep. Put him away. Jail this man. Lock him up, sir. He's a menace to society. We got two beautiful squares for our pieces to go. Knight f5, knight d5. Yeah, I don't really have a good recommendation for him. This position's pretty brutal. Queen c8. Not really threatening anything. Knight takes here. Perhaps. Yeah, we can't have him enjoying himself at all. So let's hop right in. And most likely we'll take with the G pawn to open things up there. All right, we're in with both knights, feeling very accomplished here. I mean, straightening out the pawns is something I just can't resist. Oof, buddy, that bishop doesn't look good. Just about nothing looks good here, I'll say. Let's go ahead and take this. And this pawn is for the taking, so let's grab it. Okay, we'll take this first. We'll take here. We got an open line to the king. I'm up a piece. This is just pure depression. We can castle and bring a rook over. I'm just gonna say good luck. If you survive this, buddy, you're a hero. You are a hero. Okay, I'll start with this move. We're gonna jail the queen as well. Okay, let's get a pin here. I'm gonna jail all the pieces. Okay, let's take this. Okay, yeah, that's probably one of the best resignations on the entire site right here. This position is truly hopeless. It's for sure not an enjoyable spot to be in. I mean, anytime that we've kind of played against a setup like that, we've gone e4, we've gone bishop d3, knight e2. If we play against the hippo, we played f3, bishop e3, queen d2. So it felt like this was very much within our setup range. And if you're going to give me a free tempo, why not? I think this bishop is really bad here. And yeah, lost to a puzzle rush tactic. Knight b4, and well, the game's just over from there. Let's go with d4. e5, our favorite move. Let's take interesting move, d5. Not d6, but d5. I don't think that I need to capture this. Maybe I just leave it there. It's almost one of these baits where, like, just because you can do it, you're so tempted. If he played this, I wouldn't take it. But he played this. All of a sudden, it looks a lot more tempting. I'm not gonna lie. There's something about it. I mean, we just got an extra pawn here, so I feel pretty content. I was thinking about knight c3, but also considering just slowly routing the pieces in. And yeah, that looks pretty damn good as well. Let's go give that an attempt. Oh, fixing the pawns as well. Okay, now this has to be a very good position here. We can get castled. I think this one will take, like, obviously we could support the pawn, but I think this is a capture moment. Castle, and yeah, we just have an extra pawn in the center here. We're happy about that. Okay, it's not really threatening anything there, so we just got this one to deal with. I do like the move a3. He goes here. I feel like that move is not really very good. Let's go a3. This move's pretty bad. It loses a piece. After this, he could go back and actually find it. So I think we probably got to take this right now, but I think it's very likely that he would just blunder it, but we'll play the better move. There's lots of attacking possibilities over here. But yeah, we have two pieces for the rook. Queen d3 looks extremely good here. Queen d4. Yeah, I like queen d3 because I can see the attacking possibilities for us. Maybe there's something here. So I think there's a very unusual tactic here. I've definitely seen something like this before. I think queen h3, king g7, bishop g8 also works, but bishop g8 looks a little flashier. And it's just no defense. Definitely a pattern I've seen before. Bishop g8 is obviously not the correct move, you know, because the guy could just go like insane and sack his queen, but it looks flashy. The point is, like, this would be the same thing. You just can't stop mate. Definitely a pattern I've seen before. But it's no surprise, right? He's got 0 defenders. We've got 4 attackers. I mean, everyone deserves to get checkmated there. But what is this opening? e5. He's basically playing a regular d4, d5 position, but down a pawn for no reason. There's no essence of d4, e5 here anymore. There's no like queen e7. No, nothing. It's just a regular d4, d5 position, but hey, I've lost a pawn. And we fix our pawns here. Now it's just a true extra pawn. And yeah, obviously here he kind of lost his mind. Okay. Hey, we got d4 and c4. Look at us go. Let's take... Interesting. He's combining the... he's kind of combining the London a little bit, I want to say. Normally not supposed to do that, but let's see. Let's see. I'm trying to think of moves that might be specifically good against the way he's played. Let's try this. Can at least give him an isolated pawn there. Doesn't really strike me that there should be anything too redeeming about this particular move. Knight c6 and knight b4 looks good. So yeah, it kind of has to go there. This one, d5, I can even admit that starts to get a bit more sketchy, but I'm still a believer that knight there works. So let's try it. And obviously if I get to play e6 after this, that's kind of an achievement. I can certainly admit that I didn't see that because, you know, there's big problems here. So I'll be the first to say knight e5 is a good move because I'm not pinning the knight. Let's go here. We gotta recover. Funny thing about these pawns, they're quite weak, but I have this thing where I actually kind of like them against a pawn. I would never take them voluntarily, so we're definitely not excited to have them here, but I don't mind them. I don't mind them. Let's get castled. Get yourself out of the danger zone. Bishop back. Rook over. Yeah, it's at the point now where I do think this pawn is takeable, so I think we just go straight for that. Yeah, this bishop isn't even really trapped. We have a few squares down there that I think we can use, and certainly taking here becomes a real idea. Question is just if we want to take there first. Bishop here, also, you know, we have knight to h5 there, so I think for a number of reasons we're probably safe. I have a feeling though that it's gonna be interested in g5, so maybe we can get him to play that. I think this looks like the best position that we could get. Plus he still has to reckon with this hanging piece, and we're actually up material here, not down. Heh heh heh. Let's take something there. That move makes sense. Let's make sure we have an escape square. Check. Check. Let's give a check. Let's give a check. This will win material here, but let's take that. And definitely taking this this knight will be the easiest. I like to play a6 so that, you know, it's kind of impossible that And we'll bring him back to our side of the board. Bring him back, rope him in. Rope him in. Oh yeah, you gotta find the moves, my friend. Take the walk. Take the walk. Bring him back. There we go. Get him out of here. Was he a good sport? Absolutely. Thumbs up. Thumbs up. We didn't have that much time, but you know, it seemed like we had an opponent that would play it on. You know, as soon as we got that a6 move, this was the sealing move right here. As soon as a6 was played, you know, we locked in. a6, I knew it was possible. Just a standard Queen's Gambit game, right? Queen's Gambit, we play the accepted. This is what you get. Well done, you made it to the end of another episode in the Queen's Gambit speedrun. Make sure to like the video and leave a comment down below if you enjoyed. And if you haven't subscribed, make sure to click that subscribe button and turn on post notifications so you never miss the next episode.